What's going on, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here, back again with another Panthers video brought to you by Unnecessary Bluntness Sports Talk, giving you recap and analysis of the Panthers and the NFL. And today, I have to recap the first round of the NFL draft from 2021 for the Carolina Panthers. But before I get into that, make sure you guys subscribe below and give the video a thumbs up, because if you subscribe, you're going to catch all my videos, my live streams, and all my reactions to everything that's going on this offseason, because you know it's been a crazy offseason for the Panthers. A lot of new stuff and shocking news on a day-to-day basis. So make sure you guys are subscribed and hit the bell icon. That way you get a notification every time I drop videos. However, we're talking about day one of the draft, and the Carolina Panthers with the number 8 pick. They selected Jaycee Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina. But before we get into that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And that's the Carolina Panthers passing on Justin Fields. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to talk about Jaycee Horn and the whole draft as a whole from the Panthers' perspective. Then I'm going to give a little bit more feedback on Jaycee Horn. Actually, I'm going to give him a shine first, because he's a part of the Panthers now. And then I'm going to talk about everything that happened around that and what to think about going forward and the rest of the draft, and just give you my thoughts there. So, Jaycee Horn, NFL pedigree, son of Joe Horn, the great Saints receiver, known for the celebration with the cell phone, obviously. JC went to my favorite school, the Gamecocks of South Carolina. He's 6'1", 205 pounds. He had a great pro day, tested well, has the size, has the physicality that you like, has the long 33-inch arms. This dude is a baller, man. Like, what can you say? Like, I told you guys, in the division where you face in 6 out of the 17 games per year, you're going to face Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts now, of course, good Lord, Mike Evans, AB, Chris Godwin, Gronkowski, Cameron Brate, and Michael Thomas. You need corners and you need corner depth. We know we have Dante Jackson and we just signed AJ Bouye, but you need more depth. And a guy like Horn can match up with any of these guys. He's got the size and the length to go against some of these big bodies. Dante is a quality corner, but he's way too small for Mike Evans or Julio Jones or maybe even Michael Thomas. Horn can go in the slot, he can go on the outside, he can go against tall guys, fast guys. We saw him match up against Kyle Pitts in college, so look for that matchup to keep going around, the little rivalry these guys have twice a year for the rest of, who knows, maybe the rest of their career. So it'll be interesting to watch that. But Horn has the versatility to line up anywhere. A lot of people have him regarded as the best corner in the draft just because of his upside. His sophomore year in college, he pretty much had some solid games, but he got cooked a little bit against Alabama once he faced some polished pro-style wide receivers. But going into his junior year, he changed his game up a little bit, put a little bit more patience in his press man technique, because he's a good zone corner, but he's also a great press man corner also. So he changed up his technique, got a little bit more physical, started putting more hands on guys. He reminds me more so of Jalen Ramsey and Marshawn Lattimore, that they play that physical style, that they put the hands on the receiver and get physical down the field and really force the refs to make certain calls, because they're going to get a lot of calls because he grabs a lot downfield. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be the only negative. He grabs a lot. But sometimes the refs don't always like calling a penalty every play. And if you watch the Saints and guys like Marshawn Lattimore, they really told that line. Him and Jalen Ramsey, they really told that line. You feel like you can call a flag on every play because they're always grabbing on wide receivers, but it's just so physical that it gets in the wide receivers' heads. They can get frustrated at times. This dude's a baller. He talks trash on the field. He's got that rivalry with Pitts. Like I said, he called him and started talking trash to him a little bit once he saw that he was going to the Panthers. And you just gotta love the swag and the moxie, the charisma that these guys have. He's a pro. He's the son of a pro. He's gonna be a great player, in my opinion, down the line. Nothing wrong with Jaycee Horn, because now that you have that depth at corner, he's gonna be the day one starter, obviously, especially with Bouye missing the first 2 games. But the fact that you can put him in the slot, Dante Jackson can play in the slot, and if Bouye can stay healthy, we have a pretty good cornerback group. Like, you're taking a group that went from a liability to now strength. You know what I'm saying? So now you feel pretty good about your cornerback position. Can you get a safety maybe in day 2 or day 3? Possibly you can really round out the secondary. But adding them with Jeremy Chin, Justin Burris as is, and the rest of this defense with that pass rush up front, the physicality that they do, it knocks the guys out of rhythm and gives them an extra half second for that pass rush of Riddick and Brian Burns to get home. So you really got to like what you're going to get out of Jaycee Horn. He could be a good anchor piece for your secondary. We haven't drafted a first-round corner since Chris Gamble in 2004. So this is long overdue for the Panthers, and I think we've been hurting for a good cornerback like this since Josh Norman left after that Super Bowl run. So I'm very, very excited about Jaycee Horn joining this team. We're starting to round this defense out into that Legion of Boom, like with those long physical corners that can get in your face and make plays, but also have the versatility to play zone or man. So I really like this, and I expect us to play a lot more man coverage in Phil Snow's defense. However, let's talk about the elephant in the room, guys. Let's talk about it. You already know, Justin Fields, man. Justin Fields was on the board. Like, we thought Justin Fields may go a little bit higher before us, but Justin Fields, he was there. He was right there for the picking, literally right there for the picking. And we passed on him. We passed on him. Do they have that much confidence in Sam Darnold? Do they really like Jaycee Horn? They thought they couldn't trade back because they couldn't either find anybody or they didn't think he would be there? Possibly. Because you saw Denver went corner right after we went Jaycee Horn as they chose Patrick Surtain. So that's a possibility. But to me, you can find good corners in free agency, and the draft may be down the line. You could have signed a veteran for cheap this year just to kick the can a little bit more. But you're not going to be in the position to draft a generational talent like Justin Fields for the foreseeable future. Because this defense is going to be good enough to the point that we're not going to be 5-11 like last year or 5-12, whatever, because we have 17 games. We're not going to be picking in the top 10 again. I'm sorry, guys. And some people say, oh, maybe we're just waiting on Deshaun Watson, or maybe we're going for Aaron Rodgers. We're not. Because Aaron Rodgers, one, he's either going to California or he's going to retire. He's not coming to Carolina, for one. Two, Deshaun Watson, if you're putting your eggs in that basket for him, I got a beach house in Idaho I can sell you, because that Deshaun Watson saga the ship has sailed. Maybe down the line it'll be a bonus, but you don't hitch your future on that. But what they are hitching their future on is Sam Darnold, because Justin Fields was there. I know Penei Sewell went off the board. We wanted him to fall. And I know Mac Jones was still there. We were surprised Trey Lance wasn't there. A lot of people are saying that the Panthers, the guy that they wanted, that they were hinting at, was Trey Lance. And they actually probably bought the hype that Mac Jones would be going to the 49ers. So they might have thought Trey Lance would last. But he didn't. He was gone at number 3. They knew they didn't really like Mac Jones. I thought they liked Justin Fields, according to Rappaport. He was saying Justin Fields was the only quarterback that they liked, but they still passed on him. It hurt. I mean, I can't be mad at the Jaycee Horn pick because we needed corner for a long time. But quarterback, man. People are saying, oh, we couldn't get off the field last year. If we improve our secondary, our third down defense will be a lot better. We had one of the worst third down defenses of all time. I agree. But at the same time, remember, we lost 8 games where the quarterback had the ball in his hands at the end of the game. Now, partially, yeah, that's on Teddy. But at the same time, how did we get the ball back at the end of the game? Because our defense got stops. Even when they weren't great, they still got us stops and played well enough to give us the ball to put us in position to either tie or win the game. So the defense was capable enough last year, and I highly expected them to be better next year, even without drafting Jaycee Horn. So I understand that. But if you can get that quarterback that can put you over the edge, the most important position in the NFL, you got to do it. Corner is pretty important. Probably the 4th most important. After quarterback, pass rush, and offensive tackle, corner is probably the next important. But when you had a chance to get a generational talent that fell in your lap because there were no trades that happened in front of you like that on draft day, he was right there for the pick, and we just didn't take him. And he fell all the way to the 11. He went to the Bears. And I'm going to root for Justin Fields just because all the naysayers and stuff that are rooting against him, I want him to be great. But damn, had he been a Carolina Panther, who just made it that much sweeter. Been that much sweeter to cheer for this guy. But nevertheless, we have to kind of play the hand that we're dealt. And now I'm hearing that there's Minshew mania talks about us trading for Minshew. So I really don't know what this team is doing. They went ahead and exercised the 5th-year option on Sam Darnold, meaning that they're hitching their future to him. Because Matt Rhule has been here 2 years, and Sam Darnold has 2 years left on his deal. I know there's a 7-year contract, and everybody's talking about, oh, Matt Rhule's got 7 years. He's got plenty of time. No, David Tepper doesn't have the same patience. If we don't show the progress and this close swings and misses on a second quarterback in a row, I don't think you get a third chance in the NFL. That's not that type of league. And David Tepper has the money to be able to pay that. Matt Rhule's salary doesn't count against the salary cap, so you can just pay him whatever. Like I said, David Tepper has the bankroll. He's the richest owner in the NFL. He has the bankroll to pay Matt Rhule to go away. They're paying Teddy Bridgewater to go away. So don't think that Matt Rhule is not on the hot seat if this Sam Darnold thing doesn't work out. He's got to be. And like I said, they're hitching their wagon to it. And with Joe Brady probably being gone after last year, this is a big risk. The pressure is on. So is he banking on just trying to get this defense dominant to the point that Sam Darnold really has no choice but to succeed? We'll see. We have not seen anything from Sam Darnold in his career to show us that he will be great. He's literally last in every statistical category since he's been in the league. It's hard. It's hard, bro. It's hard. But they're banking on it. They're banking on it. So we have to just kind of take it for what it is. Don't be afraid to criticize your team. I know some people out here want to have this blind faith and just believe in everything that they see in front of them. No, don't lie to yourself. Look at the eye test. Take a step back, think about it, take the emotions out for a second, but just think about it. Feel how you want to feel. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to be supporting this. If you don't want to support this, go cheer for the Patriots. Or if you don't believe in the no, you don't have to. You don't have to take that BS. You put in a lot of time and money on every Sunday. You put in about 3.5, 4 hours of work, not to mention the time during the week that you probably look up stuff, look at content, or spend time watching my content or somebody else. You put a lot of time in worrying about the Panthers and caring about the Panthers. Not to mention the money for tickets or merchandise that you pay. You deserve to be critical when you want to, because you put your money and your time and you invest that into this team, so you deserve to feel how you want to feel. So don't let anybody tell you different. But going forward, I expect us to go offensive line. Like I told you, I expect at least 2 offensive linemen drafted before this weekend is over. Maybe we go safety early on day 2 and then try to load up on offensive line later on. We'll see. But I do expect us to go offensive line to try to round this out. Hopefully we can find a solid left tackle that can maybe be a starter. We do that, maybe another interior lineman and a safety. This roster is pretty set. And if Sam Darnold plays up to par, we can really shock some folks and maybe make a run for a wild card. We'll see. I don't want to put too many things ahead of it, but we'll see what's happening going forward on the rest of this draft weekend. But you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feeling mentally, man. Take care of your mental. Let me know how you feeling mentally about them passing on Justin Fields. Do you think they're going to regret it? Because in 10 years, if Jaycee Horn turns out to be Jalen Ramsey and Justin Fields is just okay, you feel good. But if Justin Fields has like a Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson type of trajectory where most of the draft slept on him when it was really a no-brainer, and Jaycee Horn is just like, he's solid, good pro, there's going to be some people that are going to be pissed off at this ownership and coaching staff if they're still here. Because to me, Justin Fields, and I could be wrong, but to me, it just seems like he's the type of player that you don't pass up on. But regardless, I'm going to let it go. We're going to talk about this a lot more in the future videos, but let me know down below in the comments how you guys are feeling mentally. I'm Aaron Duncan signing off. I'll see you next time. Peace.